Here is a very fascinating form of early life, the Dickinsonia. This is a fossil of one species of Dickinsonia. They are very, very early examples of life, a pre-Cambrian example. In fact, they are found more than 600 million years ago during the Ediacaran period. Now, these guys are actually quite confusing. Since they're from so ridiculously long ago, we really don't know that much about them and even definitively know what exactly they are. There's been different hypotheses on where in the animal or probably animal tree of life this goes. Some early scientists thought that it was a type of jellyfish, others thought that it was a type of lichen. Some people have proposed annelids or roundworms or segmented worms. Other people have proposed that it's just their own entire thing, and we can't even agree fully whether or not it's even an animal. Now, it is almost definitely an animal, and we know that they were found in marine areas, which was pretty much the entire Earth at that point. The actual land areas were very small and very inhospitable, so these guys did live in the water, and likely kind of moved similar to how modern slugs and snails move, or perhaps how amoebas move, and likely fed on the very, very abundant microbial mats or stromatolites, which have made an appearance a few times now on this channel. Now, the morphology of the Dickinsonias could range quite widely, ranging from around a couple millimeters long to almost or over a meter in length. They typically had kind of a central ridge running down the middle of the body and a bunch of segments, which you can actually quite easily see in all of these fossils. And they are generally symmetrical, so people are putting them into the classification of bilaterians. However, due to some abnormalities seen in some fossil specimens, it is thought that they had regenerative abilities, which is pretty cool. They typically also appear to be quite thin, a couple millimeters or centimeters tall at most, and were basically kind of just sacks of cells. I don't think they had any central nervous system or sensory organs. Most of them probably didn't have very well developed internal organs. However, some fossils that are a little bit more well preserved do show some internal structuring. They likely grew by adding new segments at the posterior end. I think this one is the anterior end up here. The head, if they had what could be defined as a head, and then the posterior is where they grew from, adding gradual new segments. Now, despite them being from so long ago, we do still have a number of fossils from them. They are a decently common fossil specimen, but despite that, we still don't definitively know a whole lot about these guys because they are pretty alien to any life that we have today, and I'm not saying that they are aliens. It's a turn of phrase, just to be clear, but they are just very strange, and hopefully some more research will come out in the future that definitively proves some things about them, but until now, we can just appreciate these weird pre-Cambrian pancakes.